Hey everybody, it's Cayley. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about what sold last week. I am a reseller. I go to thrift stores, I buy items for cheap, and I flip them on sites like eBay and Poshmark. In today's video, I will be talking about my sales on eBay and Poshmark, show you some of my sales data, some of my numbers, some of my costs, and then we'll dive into some hand-selected sales that I wanted to share with you so you would know what you could pick up at your local thrift store to flip online for a profit. Let's dive into the sales. All right, you guys, so jumping right into the sales, everything that you see on this report happened between October 10th through the 16th. That is a Sunday through Saturday. That's how I calculate my numbers because that's how all the platforms pull their reports. Just sharing eBay and Poshmark today, in total I sold 75 items for a gross sales amount of $2,816.30. My average sale price was $37.55, so that's bumping up a little bit from my average, which is usually in the lower 30s. My estimated cost of goods based on an average buy cost is $300 for everything that sold last week, and then my estimated net profit after cost of goods, fees, and shipping was $1,664.36. On eBay, I sold 58 items. On Poshmark, I sold 17. eBay's gross sales were just over $2,200, and then on Poshmark, they were $586. We are now going to jump into some highlighted sales, some sales that I've chosen to pull out of those 75 items to show you for some things that you can look for at your local thrift store to flip online. If you're new to my channel, or if you just haven't heard me talk about this in my videos yet, my business model is a high sell-through rate model, meaning the items that I pick up, I expect to sell quickly. I do this by checking what's known as a sell-through rate. If you're interested in that, I will link a video about how to check the sell-through rate of items up in the top corner of the screen so that you can do the same. But all of these items that I'm showing you today, probably 95% of them have an extremely high sell-through rate. I consider a high sell-through rate something that is going to sell within 3 months, sometimes a lot sooner than that, but on average within 3 months is how I check that data. So let's dive right in. This is a Tommy Bahama men's silk button-up shirt. This is something that I like to pick up in this brand. In general, I steer away from this brand except in the silk and tinsel materials. When you pair a great material with this brand, they do really well. In particular, the Hawaiian shirts, when they've got print on them and are made of silk, do extremely well for me and flip for a good profit. This sold on an offer for $28.72. Next up is a brand I definitely think you should look for during this time of the year while we are moving into colder months, fall and winter, and that is Peruvian Connection. They are known for their wool and alpaca pieces, and pretty much as long as the item doesn't have flaws, I almost always pick it up in this brand. Really excellent brand to sell, again, during this time of the year because of the materials that they're known for. This is a brown and black color block dress. I have been sitting on this for a little while, but I think that's because we listed it in the warmer months. I had this listed for $49.93, and it did sell for full asking price. So keep your eye out for this brand. This is an item I picked up because I know that Y2K look is really popular right now, so anything that people wore during the 2000s is trendy again. In particular, velour tracksuits do really well, and especially when they are in well-known brands. Some brands I can think of that do well are Juicy Couture and BCBG, Max Azria, Victoria's Secret. I'm sure there's other ones, but if you find a velour jacket or even just the pants, sometimes, make sure and do your comps with the brand, but right now those are really trending, especially if they're vintage. In this case, I was able to find both pieces. We had these listed for $49.93, and they sold on an offer for $44.94. And velour is just, it's similar to velvet, so if you feel something like that, it's probably velour. You are going to see a lot of men's jeans in this video. I will skate over them pretty quickly, but since we are doing so well in the men's department and we do sell a lot of men's, I did want to include quite a few men's pieces. If you're somebody who only shops women's and you'd like to dip your toes into the men's category, just start by going through the jeans section in the men's department. It's a pretty small section and you can pretty quickly go through and identify what's valuable and what's not. But men's jeans are really great sellers. And in most brands, the men's are going to sell better than the women's in most brands. That is the case for Lucky Brand. We sell a lot of Lucky Brand. It's one of our tried and true brands, not just in men's, but also women's. But I definitely know in men's jeans, really good high sell-through rate. So this is a Lucky Brand men's, and also something I like about men's is they usually have the style name right on the inside of the waistband. So these were called the 363 Vintage Straight. The size is all there for me. And we have these listed for $24.95. They sold very quickly at full asking price. Depending on the style in this brand and men's jeans, some of them can go up to like $40. So you really just want to make sure you specifically look up the style that you have. Another category that is a super high sell-through rate for us is bras. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people pass on bras. It's not a category or a section in the thrift store that most people go to. We usually only look for bras at the bins. The bins is a pay by the pound thrift store essentially. And because bras don't sell for a ton, some of them do, but most of them are going to be between $15 and $20. We only really pick them up at the bins. They're super lightweight. You can usually get them for less than $1, but they do flip quickly and those small profits add up. Both on eBay and Poshmark, I find bras do really well, and you're going to see a couple of those here today. So this is the brand Daisy Fuentes. Size 38C, pretty decent size, but this one was new with tags, which is the reason we picked it up. You can see here the retail value, meaning full price at a store, was $25. We listed this, I feel like for $20 and got an offer for $17. And that's so close, even with an offer, to the retail price, that it just shows you that people are willing to pay more for bras. This is something that's kind of outside of my norm. I typically don't sell toys or plush, but when the opportunity arises, I have to jump on it. The sell-through rate of a lot of squishmallows or squishmallows, this word right here, I want to pronounce it squishmallow because that's how it's spelled, but everyone says squishimals, do extremely well in a pretty much everything. It's just a high sell-through rate, but some items are more rare and you can get a lot more money for them. I was able to pick these up at my local grocery store as soon as they went onto the sales floor. Cost us a couple bucks for each of them, but we made a set because Halloween is coming up, and I know that the Nightmare Before Christmas ones as a set were doing really well based on comps on eBay. Now, you probably don't want to rush out and get Halloween ones right now as we are so close to Halloween, but just think about the new ones that come up, you know, towards Thanksgiving or towards Christmas, and keep your eye out for that because a lot of them do have a really high sell-through rate if you can get them soon enough. So these were a little bit of retail arbitrage. Last week we sold the Hocus Pocus ones, also retail arbitrage. This week we sold the Nightmare Before Christmas set. These we had listed for $124.89, and they did sell for full asking price pretty much as soon as we listed them. This price was actually pretty competitive to some of the comps I saw, but I knew as we were getting closer to Halloween, I wanted to have competitive pricing so it would sell quickly. So a really great return on investment, and just something to think about as you go into the holidays. And even if I saw a Squishimal that was pre-owned at a thrift store, if it had good comps, I would still pick it up. They're really easy to wash as well. Next up is a brand I've been talking about a lot. Maybe you guys are sick of it, but I feel like everybody needs to know about this brand because if you can find it for $1 or less at the bins or on a sale, it has an extremely high sell-through rate and you should be picking it up. This is the brand Knox Rose. Typically they sell bohemian clothing. This one was more of a Western style. Otherwise I would have put the word bohemian in there. And yeah, they don't sell for a ton, usually $15 to $25, but they do sell super quickly. And again, small profits add up. So these we had listed for $15. They sold on an offer for $12. And again, really quickly. Another high sell-through rate brand right now is Crocs. And they do more than just your traditional slingback that everybody's used to. And I think the newer styles are honestly doing better, the more trendy stuff. So keep your eye out for Crocs. They have an extremely high sell-through rate. I pick them up at regular thrift stores if it's the right style, but definitely at the bins. They're super lightweight because they're made out of basically foam. And a lot of people pass on Crocs for some reason. I don't know why. They're really easy to clean up, and again, they flip very quickly. These ones we had listed for $39.97, and they sold for full asking price. Next up is a pair of men's Nike sneakers. Now, I usually don't pick up sneakers in this poor of condition. We did try to clean them up a little bit, but you can definitely see that there is a little bit of discoloration on the sole right here. But other than that, they were in pretty decent condition for their age. And again, normally I would steer clear of shoes like this. However, when it comes to Nike, we always look up, if it is a unique looking shoe, the style number, which is right here. So this 317980-002. If you go onto Google and type Nike space, those set of numbers, including the dash, it should pull up the style number for Nike, and that can be very beneficial for doing comps because not all Nike shoes, as popular as the brand is, sell for a ton. And what if you get a pair and you list them for, let's say $25, but they're worth $100? You're not going to know that unless you look up the style number on the inside and check the comps and sell-through rate. So we do that a lot with Nike shoes, clothing, all that stuff. And that's just something that comes with time. These ones were called the Nike Zoom Air Men's Flight 96 sneakers. I found that they were a pretty rare kind of sneaker and highly sought after, and that's the reason I chose to pick them up with a little bit of discoloration. However, in general, I would avoid shoes with that kind of wear. I believe we had these listed at $125 or $150. We accepted an offer of $100 for these shoes. I always love it when I can find unique Nikes. Here's that brand, Lucky brand again. Again, one of our tried and true brands. Not everything in this brand sells. It is a very specific market. However, the camo utility jackets do really well in Lucky brand. Extremely high sell-through rate. Again, not going to go for a ton, but the sell-through rate is there. You get your money back quickly. We have this listed for $24.98. It's sold almost immediately for an offer of $22.48. Another Lucky brand item. These are also a pair of men's jeans. Again, all that information is on the inside. These were called the 121 Heritage Slim. And we have these listed for $27.98. They sold for full asking price. Another bra, again, just showing you this to show you that bras do sell well and it's a really good category for us. This brand is Aerie, a brand I do like selling in bras. This is size 36C, which is a decent size. Pretty good condition. We listed this for $12.99 and it sold on an offer for $11.69. Somebody asked me how I'm able to get offers as close to asking price as I am. And when I say something sells on an offer, sometimes it's me sending the offer. So just keep that in mind. We send out a lot of 10% off to our watchers on eBay. So if people watch or like an item on eBay, you can send them offers. So we usually send out 10% off offers, and you'd be surprised at the amount of people that do accept that offer. And I think that's because we already price competitively. So when someone does get a 10% off offer, it's like a cherry on top, and it's a really good deal then, so they accept it. But don't get me wrong, I do get a ton of lowball offers, but I think if you price competitively in the first place and you're willing to give out a very small discount, but something in addition, people are more likely to take that offer. Is an Urban Outfitters dress. As popular as Urban Outfitters are, unfortunately, their resale value is not super high. I like to pick up Urban Outfitters at the bins. However, paying full price is not something I typically do unless it is a special style. In this case, we did pay full price at a regular Goodwill for this. And I picked it up because I know that these apron mini dresses, the style of dress is doing really well right now. And plaid in the fall just does extremely well in general. This kind of dress, this apron dress, is usually one that people wear a long sleeve shirt or a sweater under. And I think that's why it's so popular. It's just on trend right now. So I did pay full price for that one. We listed it for $24.99. It sold for full asking price. We've sold a couple of these union suits lately. It's basically just a thermal adult onesie, basically. We've sold this in Duluth. We've sold this in Carhartt. They're doing really well, again, leading into that warmer weather. This one, we did find new with tags, and just in general, the brand Duluth is a really great brand for us. Has a good sell-through rate, so we like picking it up. I actually took a chance on this because when I did the comps, I couldn't find like hardly any information about the union suits. I think this is a newer item for Duluth. But just knowing that this is a strong brand and this is a substantial piece, plus it was new with tags, we did decide to take a chance on that, and I'm glad we did. It sold for our full asking price of $39.99, and since I've taken that chance and it did sell so quickly, I think we'll continue to look for this style in men's clothing. Another pair of men's jeans. These are the 7 for All Mankind Brett style jeans. Again, this is a brand where the men's stuff does a lot better than the women's. We hardly ever pick up 7 for All Mankind and women's, but the men's do very well. So again, if you're not already shopping in the men's department, it is a missed opportunity, and you can dip your toes in by going to the men's jeans section. These ones we had listed for $29.89, and they did sell for full asking price. Another high sell-through rate brand for us is Grunt Style. Because this only sells for $15 to $20, we only pick it up at the bins where we can get it for $1 or less, but this brand does extremely well. It is kind of a military-esque graphic t-shirt brand, and on all the sleeves they have the flag, and then you can kind of see here another logo on the sleeve. So they're really easy to identify even if you don't want to look at the front of the shirt, and they're pretty easy to come across, honestly. We listed this for $14.89, and it did sell for full asking price. Another high sell-through rate brand, specifically in the men's department, is the brand Rule Number 925. This brand is a subdivision of Abercrombie & Fitch, and it is no longer sold, which is why it's so valuable. Some of the women's pieces do good, but the men's is where it's at. The more unique ones you can find, some of them are super rare, and you can get tons of money for them. I think I've sold a jacket for over $100. And again, a brand that's fairly easy to come across, at least in my area. This one is a khaki long sleeve button-up shirt. We listed this for $34.89, and it sold on an offer for $31.40. And as you move into the colder weather season, fall and winter, maybe brands, small brands that you wouldn't typically pick up, when they're paired with a nice material such as cashmere, such as wool, become a lot more valuable and are worth picking up. This is a Banana Republic cashmere sweater. Bonus was that it was like a hooded style, so that helped to add some value to it as well. We listed this for $29.89, and it sold on an offer for $26.90. Again, in the fall and winter, you can pretty much get away with picking up mall brands when they are a modern style or a unique style, and they are paired with a good material. Finishing up with some of our Poshmark sales, again, I bring up another bra just because they are such great sellers on both platforms. This is a Victoria's Secret. Can't go wrong with a Victoria's Secret in good condition push-up bra. And another thing that I like about bras, especially in Victoria's Secret, is the style name is usually right here, so it makes it really easy to do comps and to do your listing. You just throw them on a table and you're good to go. This one sold for $17. One of my favorite brands to sell lately, the brand is Prana, Prana. We just seem to sell this every week, so I absolutely love picking it up. These are a pair of tapered bohemian pants that sold for $25. A lot of people said they're getting kind of picky on Zara, and I would have to agree that certain styles aren't selling as well as they used to. But when it comes to sweaters during this time of the year by Zara, sweaters in this brand do very well. This is, I believe, a newer label of Zara. It is a size large, so great size, and it did have some wool and mohair, which I do believe helped to sell it. Color blocking makes it unique. All of those factors paired together is why we picked this up. I believe we had this listed for $35, and it sold on an offer for $27. This is kind of along the same line as Prana. It's an outdoorsy kind of hippie brand. This is the brand Fresh Produce. It doesn't look like much, but has a really amazing following. So if you come across this brand, I definitely look into it. This is just a mini skirt but we did find it new with tags. The retail price for this was $54 and we were able to get $45 for it. I bring up the retail prices of the new with tags items because typically when you have something new with tags, you're not going to get more than half the retail price for it. But certain pieces are so highly sought after that you almost get the retail value for it. So amazing following, and I will continue to pick this brand up. Here is Lucky Brand again. I think besides tops, we've seen almost every category in Lucky Brand now. This is a pair of boots, women's leather boots. And I come across Lucky Brand boots a lot. The sell-through rate is actually not there anymore for Lucky Brand boots, only certain styles. And the main reason we picked these ones up was because they were leather, they were a good material, and they had this harness strap, which makes them kind of like a moto biker boot, which adds value. So if you're coming across boots in certain brands that don't really have a good following, if you see this harness style, I would definitely look into it because they're more highly sought after in this style. So these ones sold on an offer for $46, which I was really happy with. Here's another leather item, kind of like bras, a very passed on section by resellers. And the surprising thing is when it comes to belts, you can actually get more for belts sometimes than even jeans or shoes or tops. The things I really like about belts is that sometimes brand doesn't matter. It's all about the material and the style. This one, I did look this brand up. This is a vintage Sandcastle USA vintage belt, and I just really like the style of this. It did have a little bit of wear, but it had that like bohemian kind of rocker style. I like to use the word glam rock for stuff like this, and it sold for full asking price for $29. Next up is a pair of boots. I'm sure you guys are no stranger to Ugg boots. Ugg boots, especially during this time of the year, do very well. But one thing I wanted to note is there are some more rare, unique styles of Uggs that you can find by looking up the style number on the inside. You can't see this total style number here, but there are style numbers on the inside of these, and you can look those up on Google to find the exact style name and figure out, again, kind of like the Nikes, is it worth more? Is it worth less? Is this a style worth picking up or is it not? Because not all Ugg boots do very well. And most of the time when you find them, they're trashed anyways. This one was in pretty decent condition. It did have a little sign of wear, but kind of like those Nike sneakers, I chose to pick them up regardless because I found out using the style number that it was a more sought after style and a more rare style. These were called the Kestrel Cuff Shearling boots, and so we made sure to put that into our listing. These sold on an offer for $70. Really happy with that sale. Next up is a wreath-free thermal top. The style is called the Catalina thermal top. A lot of people are picky about free people. I agree with you. However, during this time of the year, the waffle knit thermal tops do very well in free people and we the free. I would caution you, I would not get like the plain Jane like black ones. I would stick to a pretty color or ones that have contrast cuffs here. Those do very well. But moving into fall and winter, I would look for thermal tops in free people. They sell pretty good. And this one sold for $25. Another very high sell-through rate brand is the brand Marine Layer. Again, doesn't sell for a ton, but flips very quickly, has a really good following. This is just a men's Henley shirt. We actually have a mistake on our listing. We missed a space here. Still sold very quickly for $25. And last item is another men's piece. This is by Brooks Brothers, a wonderful brand to look for in the men's department, and also a great brand to pair with nice materials. So this is extra fine merino wool. It is a pullover zip sweater, and it sold on an offer for $34. Alright guys, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out if you enjoyed these kind of videos. And if you're not already subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you get notified as I make these videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.